What's going on, everybody? So today we're back with another review. But today we're reviewing the 1998 Cadillac Eldorado Touring Coupe. Another one of my favorite cars. So I thought I would do a review on it. Just doing a walk around. It's about to rain, but I trying to get a review in before it starts pouring. Introduced in 1991 by General Motors as a 1992 model. This is the last of the big body front-wheel drive Cadillac Coupes. They came with the ATS and CTS Coupes afterwards in the 2000s, but nothing compares to a traditional Cadillac, and this is it. So in the 80s, Cadillac took a major downturn with the Cimarron and their Cadillac engines, the HT4100 and the V8 6.4. So in the 90s, Cadillac had to really bring it. And by this time, gas was not as expensive as it was. There was no gas crisis, so Cadillac brought out the EK cars, which are this Eldorado for 92, along with its cousin, the four-door Seville, which went on to earn Motor Trend's award for Car of the Year for the Seville. And this is basically the same thing, it's just in the two-door model. And if you take a look at it, it looks just like the Seville. This car weighed 3,800 pounds. And the ETC model, which is what this model is, was the larger of the two as far as the Eldorado engines. So for the 90s, in 1992, it originally arrived on the scene with the 4.9 V8. A lot of people love that engine for the Eldorados. However, I like the infamous North Star that Cadillac brought out in 1993. So in 1993, Cadillac brought out its famous engine, which is the North Star engine. It was a 4.6 liter engine V8, similar to how Lincoln brought out the 1993 Mark 8, also with their dual tech 4.6 V8. So both Lincoln and Cadillac had 4.6 V8s. Lincoln didn't have as much of a reliability reputation for their V8 as Cadillac did. The North Star is regarded as one of the best engines of the 90s. However, with that being said, it also has a reputation for eating head gaskets. The threads pull out the block, more specifically. I haven't had that issue with this one yet. I got this car 3 years ago during the pandemic when it first hit. I got it from an older lady on the south side of Chicago. It only has 78,000 miles on it, and today it has 87,000. So I've put roughly 9,000 miles on it in 3 years. This is basically my daily driver. I love it. It rides beautiful. It has the electronic air ride on the rear. And they just don't make Cadillacs like this no more. When you look at it just on the walk around, like look at the egg crate grille that Cadillac has on this. It has like the aggressive look. This was finished in the beautiful pearl white. I think the official color is called Cotillia white, with interior called medium shell, which is basically like a taupe color leather interior. This specific Cadillac has every available option offered for 1998. So in 1992, it looked a little bit different, and the car was revised for 1995. So this is the basic refresh. So from 95 to 2002, they look just like this model right here. And this is a 1998. The 98s and the touring coupes, more specifically, differ from the ESCs or sport coupes. They have less chrome, even though this still has quite a bit of chrome on it, but it has less chrome. It has a 300 horsepower engine, 295 foot-pounds of torque for the touring coupe, and it has firmer shocks and suspension. Look at those wheels. Definitely old school Cadillac. I definitely kept it original. I did want to put some DTS wheels on it. 17-inch, these are 16-inch. Performance tires, these are Continentals. But back to the options list for the Eldorado Touring Coupe for this model. So this one does come with the factory moonroof. Comes with a 10-disc Bose CD changer in the trunk, and the Bose system on the inside that also has a CD player. The dual exhaust, dual or quad dual exhaust. I love the rear of it. It definitely has you definitely notice the Cadillac with those vertical tail lamps. My aunt had this exact color, this exact car back when I was in high school. She had a 96 Cadillac Eldorado Touring Coupe, brand new. She bought this exact color in 1996. And she had it until it got in an accident, unfortunately. And the car was totaled. And ever since then, I've loved these cars. I always wanted one. I always wanted an Eldorado. I also like the Seville, but I love coupes. Personal luxury cars. These are definitely the last of the personal luxury cars. 1998, you still had the Lincoln Mark 8, which was its direct rival. Ironically, 1998 was the last year of the Lincoln Mark 8. So this will have competed with the Lincoln Mark 8 LSC, which I also had. I had a 1996 Lincoln Mark 8 LSC. This also will have competed with its platform cousin, the Buick Riviera. However, the Riviera was with the 3.8, and you could get that optional supercharged. Also, another competing automaker was the Lexus SC. The Toronado bowed out in 1992. So actually, Cadillac was the last one of the personal luxury cars to survive. This car survived to 2002. So we'll go ahead and look at the interior really quick. So this is the interior. Pretty clean. Stitcher has started to come off right here. Probably from my heavy hands. I haven't really had any issues with it. The interior has held up pretty well for a 25-year-old car. It has, like I said, the medium shell interior, which is basically like a taupe color. This is what the rear looked like in 1998. Now, how many people could get back here? I suppose teenagers. Maybe if I wasn't a big guy, maybe an adult could get there for short trips. Back when Cadillac still offered cigarette ashtrays. This was considered a 5-passenger coupe. However, 4. And that's cutting it close if they're small adults. Let's get in. One of the things I do love about Cadillac back then, they did offer real wood in 1998. This is Zambrano wood, and it's beautiful. I love the texture of it. Decent sized glove box. And as you can see, the option list was a Bose sound system, which this does have. It has an in-dash CD player. And like I mentioned, it also has a 10 CD changer in the trunk as well. Has heated seats that would like literally burn your bottom. Even at the lowest setting for the heated seats, it gets warm, too warm, quick. These are actually the best heated seats I've ever had in the car, even in a brand new car. I had a brand new 2016 Lincoln MKZ on lease, and their heated seats could not compare to these seats from Cadillac. These seats on the low setting is all you ever need, even if it's 10 degrees outside. Dual cup holders. It had the angle gear shift that had the push it button on the inside of it instead of on the outside. Had dual climate control, automatic. And we talk about let me just actually move this so you guys can see. So I had Twilight Sentinel, automatic headlights, and because this is an ETC, this has a full gauge package. Dash went to 140. And because it's the ETC, these actually get up to 150 miles an hour. And as you can see, it has 87,200 miles. No check engine lights or anything. Temperature is where it's supposed to be, right at half. And like I said, the speedometer goes to 140 and these get up. The amount of speed this Eldorado has is amazing. Even for a 25-year-old car, it still rides amazing. The air ride actually still works on this car, which I'm shocked. The suspension light actually recently just came on, but it's not for the shocks themselves. It's actually for a yaw rate sensor. I pulled the codes through Cadillac, which you can actually pull through the dash. If you press these two buttons right here at the same time, it'll actually pull the codes for you. And the code I got was C1780, which I looked up online, and that's actually for a yaw rate sensor. So the shocks are actually still pretty good. It's pretty firm. The steering wheel is actually firm itself. It's not that loose, wallowy feel from the 80s from Cadillac. By 1992, Cadillac had firmed up their suspension pretty nicely. Well, it still gives you like a little bit of a float, but just barely. And like I said, it has dual climate control. I do need to get the AC recharge. It was working, and it has a new compressor that I put on it, but I think there's a leak somewhere in the AC system. Maybe the condenser or something has a leak in it, or a hose or something, because the AC is back to blowing hot, and I got it fixed in 2021. But this is the interior, and actually, even though it's 2023, the interior still looks pretty modern to me. And I'd much rather have this interior than a lot of 2023 cars that has the huge laptop type screens and all those buttons, and then It shows all the fingerprints. Every little fingerprint, you press a button, it shows it. That drives me crazy because you always need to keep a cloth to keep wiping the screen off. And then the screens freeze. I like physical buttons. That's why I like this Cadillac. I love the physical buttons. I never did put in the aftermarket radio because you can buy a FU modular transmitter and your phone can connect through that, which this does just fine for me. I'm able to stream all my digital music through Cadillac speakers. And because this is a Bose, those speakers rock. I would turn it on, but I don't want YouTube to flag the video. Just the design team did a really nice job with this car. I love how it has Eldorado on the armrest. I love how the wood goes, and it's like the design. This reminds me of the Aurora, sort of like the Oldsmobile Aurora with like the personal cockpit look. This reminds me of like some type of airplane pod. And as you can see, I've been averaging 20 miles per hour. That's as far as my speed is. As far as my gas, I need an oil change for sure. I got 188 miles. Back then, Cadillac had everything here as far as digital electronics. It told you everything that you needed to know, which is what cars need to go back to. All of the extra stuff that cars give today, that's just more reason for something to fix. These do not get the credit that they deserve. Cadillac sold a decent amount of these every year. They definitely beat the Marquette out. I love the Marquette. The Marquette probably rides a little bit better because it's rear-wheel drive. The Cadillac Eldorado has always been front-wheel drive since 1967. This is the 12th generation Eldorado, which was produced from 1992 to 2002, and is the last generation. They have talked about, you know, in years past, Cadillac showed concepts like it was going to bring the Eldorado back out, and I wish they would, because this is the epitome of a luxury sports coupe. The ATS and the CTS coupes, those are fine and they are nice, but those are more sport car oriented. This is a good old-fashioned luxury sport coupe. It prioritizes luxury over sportiness. The touring coupe is what you got if you wanted the sportiness. The sport coupe was more luxury oriented. I got the touring coupe. Like I said, this can hit 150 miles per hour, top speed. This came with a 4-speed automatic transmission. I have not had any issues with the transmission, although I do think I need to get a transmission flush just because it's been 25 years and I don't know if the previous owner ever had the transmission flush. She did have quite a bit of work done on it. It hasn't given me too much trouble. Really, the only thing I've had to replace was the compressor. I replaced several batteries. I hated the way the Cadillac put the battery in there because you can't really access it. So, and because it sits most of the winter, because I try not to drive it too much in snow, the battery dies. It died every year. So I've already put 3 batteries in this car. That's probably been my biggest sticking point. The tires are still good. They were brand new when I got the car from the older lady, so they still run pretty good. Those Continentals, they run forever and they handle pretty darn good. I have not replaced the alternator. I do worry about that because the alternator, a lot of people say, is a pain point to get out. The alternator is definitely the starter, so I have not replaced any of those yet. This does have a remote start on it. I'll show it to you guys in a few seconds as I get ready to wrap up the video. And I'm trying to see if I replaced anything else on it. It needs a tune-up, I think. It definitely needs a tune-up. It does have a misfire at times. I can feel it. Like I said, it has 87,000 miles on it, so it definitely could use a tune-up. I also replaced the throttle position sensor on it. And I think that's about it. That's all I've really done to it. So I'll show you the startup, and then we'll wrap up. I just love that front. I love looking at the front and the rear. So I do have a remote start, so we're going to see a startup. Show me, Christine. So I have named her. Her name is Cocaine. My brother has a 78 Coupe de Ville, which he actually calls Sugar. So he has Sugar and I got Cocaine. They just don't make cars like this no more, do they? Look at them quad pipes. Like, Cadillac in the 90s, to me, was on it. That's the time I grew up in high school, and I always loved Cadillacs. I love the Seville and the Eldorado. My actually stepfather had a 95 sedan DeVille, black. So I've been around Cadillacs most of my life. All my uncles had Cadillacs. My grandfather, brothers, they all had Cadillacs. One had a Fleetwood, one had a 85 Eldorado when I was a little kid. One had the 87 or 88 Seville STS. The saying back in the day used to be Cadillac, Cadillac, Cadillac style. I think they should go back to that mantra. It looks so good with the moonroof tilted. I still get a lot of compliments wherever I go, like how much I want to sell it for. And this is by no means perfect. Since I've had it over 3 years, people seem to find ways to put small little door dings and scratches in it, but it's still real clean. You can't find too many clean like this. Does have some oil seepage, as all North Stars do, but other than that, no issues. And the next video, I'll show you guys the engine, and then we'll take it for a test drive. Other than that, thanks for watching. Till next time, peace.